Please come. So it's the first time Wacom is actually supporting us. And we're having an art contest for the entire 3 days. And what's nice about it is if you win, you bring home a brand new tablet. And then over on the far right, there's this brand which is called Color Switch. And we actually, it's made by an American. And Color Switch has had 100 million downloads. Not dollars, downloads. But once you have a game that has made a mark for 100 million downloads, you can expect that the maker is earning healthily. All right? So I had breakfast with him this morning. David is his name. Just less than a year ago, he was $80,000 in debt. Less than a year ago, he was a pool boy. He was a chauffeur. He would do anything so that he could just concentrate on making games. And then after 6 months or so of really, because he only decided to start developing games at the age of 34. And by the time he realized that he had Color Switch, he was already 36. So late age siya. He was not born a game developer. He's just born as a creative person trying to find his luck in his way in life. Most of the times when he's introduced in LA, he's actually introduced as a magician. So dami niyang ibang ginagawa bago siya naging game developer. So he's here. He's going to speak tomorrow and Sunday. If you can come, please come. So ESG is pretty big, but the talk sessions, the ones like this, is actually on the second floor. So you just have to take this big escalator up. Okay, the ride on the escalator is free. But once you get to our door, there's tax to be paid. All right? Okay, so next slide, please. Are you my clicker? Ano ba to? Magic? Next slide. I'm gonna jump ahead to what I've seen in the roadmap. Oh, there you go. Wonderful. So here it is, $700,000. Okay. On the left, it's pretty much hard to see, but total revenue, they say, is only $24 million. But yeah. Okay, and so much more, definitely so much more can be earned. I think the maker of Color Switch has earned this much already. And there's around 2,111 direct FTEs. FTEs, full-time equivalent. Ito, why are we using the term FTEs? Okay, it's a very politically correct way of saying, because when you say employment, that usually connotes full employment. But guys, come on, the ones running studios, we don't really fully employ most of our people. Most of our people are under contracts. Most of our people are freelancers. Because that's what it takes to run a studio. So instead of calling them employees, we just use the term, the equivalent of a full-time employee. Now, this is politically correct term. That's what FTEs is, the term everybody in the IIS is using. Even for call center agents, not everybody is fully employed. Okay, get it? Here, they say that there's around 23 sizable companies doing games in the Philippines. Sizable. But that means there's so much more. This is the sizable. Sizable would probably mean more than 20 people. Yes, game development companies are much smaller. Animation studios are quite a bit bigger. And right now, the top 5 companies control probably 79% of the market. Because some of us have 60, 80, 200 people. And of course, with numbers, you get to dominate the local industry. But there's so much room to play. The worldwide market in games is just too big. And again, as I said earlier, we barely are earning less than 1% of the market. Which is again very good news, because there's nowhere else to go but up. Most of our games are entertainment-based, 35% education-based, may nagbabayad apparently for education. And about educational games, I just like to plug in that I just came from one of the biggest events I've ever attended in my life in Germany. This came from Germany. It's a good thing I've lost my German accent already, because I stayed there for a long time, 5 days. I attended the Frankfurt Book Fair. Labo, no? What's a game developer doing the Frankfurt Book Fair? But I guess it's the same thing that the MIPCOM guys felt when they had a Philippine booth. I was invited by the National Book Development Board. Also, I think it's under DTI. It should be under DTI. And it's also the first time that the Philippines had a booth. Now, why is Frankfurt Book Fair special? Besides me going there, did you know that the Frankfurt Book Fair is the oldest fair in the world? So whatever fair you're attending to nowadays, it is all patterned after what they're doing in Frankfurt. Any expo, any convention was based on this. Miguel was bragging that 50,000 delegates went to MIPCOM, 270,000 delegates went to the book fair. So there's so many things we're missing, actually, in promotions. And I was part of a 40-man delegation as well, but only 3 of us spoke. And they said the same thing. Wow, it's about time we Filipinos got here. And again, I realized that the rest of the world know very little about us. So it's about time that we got our act together, that it's about time that we coordinate with the schools, we coordinate with the government, because so much has to be done. We're missing a lot. Revenue forecast, 13.5%. Now here we're counting mostly outsourcing work. But as Miguel said earlier, what everybody else is anticipating that we do is create original content. All right? The rest of the people outside in this meeting, they're all in the outsourced business, right? And outsourcing, as good as it is, you know, it's a steady profession. You know, we can live our lives doing this. But if you ask yourselves, you know, what do you really want to do in animation or games? I'm sure your dream would be to make your own thing. That's also our dream. That's also our dream. So year after year, at least 13.5 compounded annual growth rate. At least, I believe it can be better. Employment forecast, that's so low, only 11.5%. Okay, until 2022. The future growth of game dev services could be mobile, PC, a lot of online. Why is the future online? Simply because there are more Filipino Facebook IDs than Filipinos. So no matter how, pardon my French, crappy our internet is, we are online. And again, the rest of the world is surprised by this. But I tell them that the infrastructure is really definitely improving. Because just a few years back, I would tell people that the internet in the Philippines was very, very, very slow. Now it's improved. Now it's only very slow. Yeah? So, so going back to GDAP and you know, how are we going to address these problems? Because as Miguel will say, you know, the results of the study is very, very similar. The strengths of animation gaming, similar. The problems, very similar as well. So we'll tackle that later. So I'll go back to what we've been doing in GDAP. So we are a working board. You know why I say working board? Because we cannot afford to pay people to be our staff. So to be a working board, we are the craziest association under BPAP because we meet weekly. Can you imagine that? We're trying to run and get paid salaries from our companies to run our own businesses, but we have to dedicate at least 1 day a week, at least the board and the people who need business done, to meet and talk, because that's what it will take to make it happen. I've been president for 4 years, and a lot of the board members have been board members for equally the same. We're very proud of what we've done in the last few years, but we believe also that there can be no success without a successor. So one of our points next year, you know, I'm not saying we're going to drop from the face of the earth, but by next year we are going to look for younger people, hungrier people, okay, that can help us run the organization. One by one, we want not the one replaced, but we want an upgrade for the entire industry. We believe that the younger people can suck up more learning, suck up more information, and spew it out in better projects than we can right now. So this is the first time I'm putting it on a slide. You know, by the time we have our GMM, this will shock people, because we are looking forward to this. Definitely we need staff. Later, after Miguel's presentation, and after Kartik speaks, they have some suggestions. Now, obviously, when the EMC came out, how many years back, the EMC memorandum by Ched, remember that the EMC can produce either game developing or animation professionals. It's under one Ched memo, diba? And what Kartik will, I guess, suggest later, hey, maybe you guys should actually unite your efforts. You know, maybe logistically, at least. Not really ideologically, but maybe logistically, you could start there. So that's something that is on the table. We will discuss. We'll see. What's been happening for a few years, we have been increasing our membership. Because again, if you study the game development industry, all it says is, woo, it's just going up, okay? I mean, when we say increasing, we'll be happy to have 4 new members a year. Because usually, when we have 4 new members, 2 members close shop. We have more diversified services. We're not just developing and outsourcing games. Businesses have come up that actually support games. We have more game management companies. We have companies that actually promote other games socially online. So it's very exciting. And these companies are pretty sizable. So I came from Germany. And it was the first time we had a booth in Frankfurt Book Fair. MIPCOM was also the first time that the Philippines had a booth there. Ingrid knows this. We've started in 2014. Nahuli na kayo. You know, so it can be done as long as you are united. We were lucky during 2014 that we were, I mean, if you want support, it won't just come to you on a silver platter. You have to work for it. Diba? We were there meeting after meeting with DTI, all the possible agencies, until it happened. And when we talked to the agencies, we just didn't sell them in one show. We showed them, hey, you know, a conference is conference, an expo and an expo. Don't expect, now we're not asking for your sponsorship just for this one show. Because I'm telling you, you won't be able to sell anything in one show. The lesson learned here is you have to be always present at the shows. The rest of the world has to see you as someone trustworthy, dependable, have a stable economy, and you must have a stable president. I'm sorry. But no, seriously. So we were able to convince DTI to a 5-year commitment. Diba? A 5-year commitment. And I'm glad that they're riding with us. In 2014, we went to Canada, XDS. Then we went to Tokyo Game Show. We went to GDC in San Francisco, Casio Connect, G-Star in Korea. So much other shows. Nandun palagi yung DTI. Before MIPCOM, what happened 2 months ago, we went to Germany as well, in Cologne, and we joined Gamescom, led again by BOI and DTI. So we've been, in our own small way, I think we've been quite successful in promoting the creative industries. Because when we speak, we don't just say game development, we just say everything creative that is digital. Games, animation. And one lesson that you should learn if you do get a chance to go abroad and you're trying to get business is what you should promote is not your company. Okay, imagine this, if I go to Gamescom and I put Synergy 88 as a booth, I'll be just like anybody else there. But when you put the name Philippines, now that is an opportunity for great brand recall. So when you go there, when you go out there, and you have to go out there, speak loud, speak proudly, stand up straight, in very good English, not judgment, and speak for the Philippines. Okay, we are all brand ambassadors for the Philippines. And that's how it should be done. And I hope it goes on for the next few years, no matter what. All right? I believe also that there's enough money in private companies. If things change, I'm sure we can continue this. We believe, I believe, or I mislead myself to believe, that we are very inclusive and we are almost frictionless. I'm sure a lot of you people went here because it's the Marriott. And the food is good. But in running an organization, there will always be friction. And I think we've been kind of successful in lessening that over the years. We've reached out. There's another organization in gaming called IGDA in Manila. They are mostly the hobbyists, the freelancers. We've taken them in, and we've rallied them and say, you have to say the same things. You have to join us at the shows. Even though you're a one-man operation, two-man operation, but you're building original content, well, come on board. We've done that. Sacrificed everything. We've also, definitely with ACPI, that's one of the reasons I'm in both boards, is we're trying to, again, fuse activities together. We have an ICT Awards Night, and that's on November 24. So this is we want to be the only, because we are the only award-giving body in animation or gaming. Suppose sa gaming, wala kaming cash prize, sa ACPI meron, well, great. But it's, we want to build it up over the years to be the Oscars of creative ICT. So please come if you're invited. And everybody will be invited. Another thing that we've been very successful with is we have activated our school members. Maraming members, di ba? Madali naman kumuha ng members association. But to get them active is another thing. Di ba? And we are quite successful with that. Again, with schools, what we try to do, we try to adopt schools. If the school is geographically nearer to you, pare, ikaw muna bahala dyan. You don't have to be a board member. Okay, but if you can take care of that school, if they invite us, they need a speaker, come up, go there. Spend some time and expose the kids to the technology. So we've been doing that. We also have the first, this is wild, the first regional branch of GDAP. Yes, not everything is in Metro Manila. And it's called R18. That doesn't mean rated 18. That means Region 18. So that's Bacolod, Dumaguete. And can you believe we're sending 2 of them to Korea? G-Star? All expenses paid. Okay. So that's how we try to help. Besides that, this year we've had one of our most successful GMMs. And my goodness, yes, GMMs are so hard to do. And we've also seen the formula on how to gather everyone. Just like today, when you invite, make sure you invite them to a very, very expensive and swanky hotel. And people will come. Okay? You have to find also the most intelligent of sponsors. That's also another key. Because a lot of people would want to promote stuff during your GMMs because it's supposed to be all the executives and decision makers for your industry. But if you're going to come up on stage and speak something unrelated, then it devalues and dilutes the meeting. Maybe next time these people won't come. Okay, so I'd just like to point out, okay, we found some really brave people like Britzy over there in the back. Yeah, she's from, tell Miguel I'm doing this, huh? Okay, so she's from Pioneer. And it's very, very simple business concept. They just get your money from abroad to here cheaper. Got it? Cheaper. A lot of us, well, most of us are doing outsourcing work, and we use the typical, the freelancer and Upwork. I mean, that's how you get clients, but getting paid it's really dependent on you. And so far, they made me a believer that with their system, it's just cheaper and should be easier. Now, technologies like this, offers like this come probably a lot of times, but so far, for me, it seems to be the most sensible. So I'm encouraging people, whether it's be an independent developer or a bigger studio, to try it out. I mean, who of us does not want to save money? Lalo na ngayon, ang taas ng dolyar. Diba? Now we have to be ultra sensitive how money is, brought into our country. And this, for those of you who have not heard, although we are a working board and we could hardly pay to to operate, can you believe we made our own healthcare program? We have our own HMO in GDAP. And this applies to whether you're fully employed, you're contractual, you're a freelancer, pwede ka dito. Okay? And we're very, very proud of this. We're very proud of this because it's dangerous. our organization is an NGO and we are not supposed to do this. We need to do this. We can actually get shut down, if this fails. But we are going to do this because we need to let our people know that we actually care for them, not just for their output, but for their health. And that's why we invest in these people. The way we think is we pay our people not because of the work done, but because of the work that we want them to continue to do in the future. And if it takes HMO to make them stay, well, let's do it. And this is something I'm really going to push to you API members. And this can apply not only to studios, even schools. Okay. So yeah, I mentioned looking ahead. Definitely, the awards night will happen during the animation festival. We want to expand, of course, the HMO users. We are actually, again, kahit konti kami, we're expanding regional CapDev. Wacom is going to help us. Payron is going to help us. We're going to do training programs and do game festivals in Bacolod and Dumaguete, December 3 to 5. And I hope you come. We're talking about in Bacolod, there may be like 500 kids. In Dumaguete, there might be just 100. But again, this is the most perfect time to do this because it's never been done. Who arrives there, who speaks there, will be the Kodak. You'll be the first mover. We're actually going there. We're going to pay for our own airfare. We're going to pay for our own accommodations. But we're going to do it because these people have promised to gather. Okay? If DICT supports this, then they should, the better. But if we get no support whatsoever, we don't care. We're still going to do it. Zamboanga, we've launched actually another free training program. It's been wonderful, and we want to do it over and over again. Our next goal for a regional branch is Davao. And the next thing is CG Art Society. I learned this morning that I cannot speak about it because I'm under NDA. I'm sorry. And here's the thing. You're from the schools. We have 30 who are applying. I think the term is not EMC anymore. May bago ng term. DSIT something. There are 30 applicants of universities. It's good, but it's also bad. Because this is a bit too many. And my question to these schools are, do you actually have the proper staff to run this program? Or are you just launching it to simply gather more students? If I want my industry to grow, the animation industry to grow, the game development industry to grow, I have to do what I can to make sure that when you open this program, that you are being supported by industry people. If you don't have the staff for it, if you don't have the equipment for it, I will tell you to your face, don't do it. Because I will actually go against you. I will go against you. We will go against you if you simply do this. Okay, there's a show happening. And these are some reasons, but it's not very important. This is what keeps us in the game industry. 47% of the world's games are actually being consumed in our part of the world. And there goes my belief, if we're consuming it, we might as well build it. We only had $166 million of consumed games last year.